Hey guys, so for today's video, I wanted to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while now, which is just a video basically like show and tell of my favorite things that I place value on. Yeah, I figured that we used to do it when we were kids in school, so why can't I do it now? Personally, I think it's very fascinating, like learning what other people like and what they dislike, because everyone's so different and everyone has preferences. And I don't know, I just think it's really fascinating to think that there's people out there that enjoy eating tomatoes, because tomatoes are literally the most disgusting freaking, they're like slimy and there's like weird seeds in them. Like anytime like I even taste like a hint of a tomato, like instantly I'm gagging and I'm like, I want to throw up everywhere because tomatoes suck. But I know other people who like, love tomatoes and want to eat tomatoes. Like, that's so weird. Anyways, that's basically my point, is these are all things that I'm interested in and things that I just wanted to share with y'all. I've never wanted to label myself or appear as an influencer, and I realize that this video is sort of like contradicting that. I'm not trying to influence y'all, is the thing. I'm not trying to say like, hey, go buy this. For me, it's just more of a matter of like, it all just comes out of a place of love and a genuine, connection to want to share things with y'all. So yeah. There's one thing the movie Fight Club taught me, even though I never really finished it. I think I stopped like 30 minutes before the movie ended, so I never figured out like the plot twist. But I got some of the main idea, which is Mr. Brad Pitt. He was saying that like you shouldn't let objects own you, or don't let the object own you, or don't let the objects own you if you own the object. He was trying to say something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was like just basically a critique of consumerism. And I've become really conscious more than lately about the things I spend my money on and everything that basically makes up my identity. And I sort of question myself. I'm like, who am I without all of my interests and without all these things that I own? Like, if I were to take away all of my hobbies and all of my interests and things that I enjoy, like, at the end of the day, we're all just like a shell of a human. And I think there's something really crazy and poetic about that. I guess I've always sort of considered myself a materialistic person, and that is a character flaw. I know it is a character flaw within myself, but I've been sort of trying to think of it as in a different way, where I genuinely just appreciate like art, and the way I appreciate it is by like consuming it and owning it. It's not like I'm the type of person to be like, oh, I need a Bugatti, oh, I need to own a big mansion, and I need to buy $20 smoothies every day, and just like really shallow stuff like that. I think for me, it's always just been about like art. And that's why I collect so much stuff like CDs, magazines, and books, is because it's just like something that I think is beautiful, and that if I own it, then I sort of become a part of it. I hope the lawnmower isn't as loud as it is right now. Anyways, yeah, it sort of does give me an identity crisis whenever I do think about it too much, but I guess that was just like my little disclaimer to say like all the things in this video are things that I enjoy, but I realize that if someone were to take them away from me, like I'd be fine. I think that's like a mindset that everyone should have when it comes to things they own. With that being said, here's all of the things that I love. The first thing I'm gonna start with is a book recommendation. I've recently sort of just like had a rediscovered passion of reading books. It comes and goes for me, but right now I am definitely in my reading phase. Before I decide to read any book, I go on Goodreads and I read a bunch of reviews. So many reviews. I feel like I spend more time reading the reviews than the actual book. But it's also like I just really enjoy reading what people have to say, because people go hard in the reviews. Like they literally craft like whole books about the book, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, the way that I choose books is by how good a review is, or how good it can persuade me to buy a book. And so recently I was looking for a book to read with like fantasy elements in it, and I saw this one called The Raven Boys. Someone wrote a review for this that was so compelling and so like convincing that I literally bought the whole series. just based off that one review. Finished the first book, the first book, in like 3 days. That's how good this book was, and like the review was totally right. It was just like so good, and I haven't read the rest of the series, but I just know that it's gonna like be as good as this one. Yeah, it's a YA novel, which young adult novels do kind of scare me. I don't know, there's just something different about their writing. It can be a little immature, obviously in the context of like a younger audience, but this was anything but that. Like the characters had so much characterization, and just like there's an actual plot line to the story, the characters had flaws, and yeah, it was just really good. I really recommend this. Before this book, I was reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, which everyone raves about. I think it's like the TikTok book. I read it thinking like, oh, it must be so good, but I was a little like disappointed and a little confused when I was reading it, just because I didn't really understand what all the hype was about. I feel like this is a book for people who don't actually like reading, but they want to read something. And that shows because, I don't know, I just found myself reading it and being like, where's the point? What's the character trying to do here? Other than like sexy men with wings, there's really no plot line to the story. And some people like that. Some people like just, you know, that fluff and the tropes. But personally, like, I could not stand it. But yeah, if you're a fellow hater of this book, I really recommend this one instead. My next favorite thing, which I want to do right now because I want to drink it right now, is sparkling water. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself because I used to hate sparkling water, and I never understood why people would want to drink it because, I don't know, to me it was just like, just drink water or just drink a soda, which, you know, I feel like people who are drinking sparkling water are either trying to, you know, cut back on sugar, which for me was the reason why I started drinking it. At first, I just did not like it. Over time, I kept forcing myself to drink it until I built up a taste for it, and I can finally enjoy them now, and I actually just like crave them now. And my favorite ones are LaCroix. No specific reason. I think low-key all sparkling water tastes sort of the same. It's really just a preference for packaging. I think it's just one of those things that's like, once you have it, you sort of stick to it, and like it's like it says something about you. Like I just think the packaging is pretty. Like it's like the graphic design on it. I think it goes hard. It's kind of like who you choose your Mario Kart character as. Like that says something about you. This one's my favorite. It's the peach plum one. My second favorite is the peach pear one. Next thing that I've been enjoying is magazines. I love magazines, and I think they are so important to fashion and to culture and to all things because there's so many topics that magazines have. My favorite ones for fashion are Fruits magazines. I buy these off Zen Market, which is like a Japanese proxy site. Even though these are just literally like photographs of people, and there's not really like, there is some sections of writing, but I don't even speak Japanese, so I don't understand it. But I just like appreciate the whole vibe of it. It's definitely like a thing where it's like it's like Pinterest, but for magazine. So I always look at these when I want like some inspiration for an outfit or something. Some other magazines that I love are just like your typical fashion magazines. I've been wanting to collect like vintage ones from the 90s, early 2000s, because I think that style is something I resonate with a lot. Yeah, this is a vintage Gwen Stefani one for nylon, and it's actually really funny. I bought this from eBay, and then like 2 days later, Nylon actually announced that they are gonna do a, because I think they stopped printing, they went fully digital, but they came out with a print with Gwen Stefani again as the front of the magazine. So it was just like a cool coincidence. I actually went to Barnes & Noble's yesterday and I read their new issue. So it was really cool just like getting to see like her like younger in her career and then her like now matured in her career. And then I also picked up, this is something new to me, Purple magazine. It's a monster of a magazine. It's literally like hardcover. It's not even a magazine, it's like a freaking book. And it was really expensive, but I think like the value of it was what made it so expensive because there's a lot of like cool things in here. I was just so intrigued by it. But this magazine is really cool because it does different covers of the same version of the magazine. So this is issue number 41. And they have a bunch of different covers. I got the one with this girl in Balenciaga. But they had one with Bjork on the cover, and they just had like a lot of really cool ones. And I feel like I've just really come to appreciate graphic design, especially in fashion. And definitely this year more than ever, I've just learned the power of journalism and magazines and words, and I think it's beautiful and it's awesome, and I think everyone should take a step back from their phone and buy something physical. Buy a magazine, buy a book, buy a CD. Just open your eyes. The next thing is these bags. I've been loving, it's this specific brand of bag. They're from George, Dina, and Lucy, and I believe it's a German brand. I looked it up. They started in 2004. That was the year I was born. And so they have a lot of like vintage bags, and they're still going at it. So they still are coming out with new designs, but there's just so many unique designs, but at the same time it still has like a style. And so there's a lot of like cool just like gadgets on it, a lot of zippers. And what I love about it is that like it's functional. Like all these pockets, they work and they're big, and I can fit so much stuff in here. This one is new. I just recently bought it off eBay. This one has been my go-to bag. You can tell from all the keychains I have that it is loved. It fits so much stuff. Like right now I think I have a whole book in here. I have a bunch of trash, my wallet, and there's just a bunch of like trash and stuff in here, but usually like I can fit like a whole water bottle. I can fit my camera in here. And so there's just like a lot of space to these bags, and the design is just so cute. They have so many cute designs. My only gripe with these bags is that usually there's not a longer strap, so you can't like carry it crossbody. And I know that's like a deal breaker for some people, like they need a crossbody bag. And usually I would agree, but I don't know, lately I've been sort of loving like having a handheld bag, and also I can just like put it like really close to me. But also if you wanted, you could just buy a larger strap from somewhere else and you could hook it on to these bags, because there's so many hooks on these bags. Also these bags, like again, like I said, I have keychains. They're great for keychains because there's so many like hooks, like I said. If you have a lot of keychains, I'd say get this bag so that you can use all your keychains. They're also not that expensive. I think didn't spend more than $100 on both of these bags. And bags can be really expensive, so the fact that these are like really quality, they're under $100 if you look hard enough. There's definitely some that can reach the $100 range, but if you look hard enough, and you can also bid on eBay and offer people less, then you can find some like really cute bags. Okay, the next thing, gum. And this brand specifically, Pure brand, me personally, I live in constant fear of having a cavity in my mouth because I am a sweet tooth. I eat a sweet treat every day. There's just a snail. There's a snail in my ear whispering to me to eat a sweet treat. So I, frequently have sweet treats, and so I frequently worry about the quality of my teeth and if I'm gonna have a cavity or not. And I do floss and brush every day, but sometimes I feel like that's not enough. So lately, after I eat a sweet treat, I've been popping one of these into my mouth. I carry this one in my purse, and these are the ones that I leave at home. I can go through one of these packs in a week, easily. That's how much I eat sweet treats. But yeah, they don't have any sugar in them, obviously. They have something called xylitol. It starts with an X, but I don't know what it is. But I do know that it like helps prevent cavities, so it makes me feel better whenever I chew these after eating something sugary, because it like at least it gives me the peace of mind. So if you're a fellow sweet treat connoisseur like I am, I definitely recommend these if you sort of want to protect your teeth a little more. Next thing is a cosmetic product. One of my goals when it comes to scent is to be very fruity. I just want to smell very like I just want to smell very sweet. I like the idea of smelling like a certain fruit. I really love the scent of peaches. One of the perfumes that I really like is Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. And if you know anything about perfumes, you know that that specific one is like, it costs like an arm and limb just to like freaking have a bottle of it. And so every time I went to like Sephora, I would just spray some on me just to, feel like I could wear it. And so I was kind of sad because I was like, I can never afford this, so I'm just never gonna smell like my favorite perfume. Until I realized that there's this website that makes perfume dupes. And of course I've heard of that before, but I just like never gave them a chance because like I guess some part of me thought that it was like not a scam, but it just felt kind of too good to be true or something. I don't know. I just like I never really like thought I would like them, but I did purchase off Oil Perfumery. Oil Perfumery does dupes really good. So I bought their version of Tom Ford's Bitter Peach, and I feel like it does smell in pretty much exactly the same way as the more expensive ones smell. And so I've just come to really love this perfume right here. It's a roll-on one, which I do kind of hate roll-on ones, but it's also an oil, and I think oils last longer. I've noticed that this one definitely like lasts me all day, and so yeah, I just really love the scent of peaches, and I want to smell like a peach, so this helps me accomplish that goal. And I also have this peach lotion by Tony Moly. I think that's the brand. It's like kind of like peach rings, like that's how it smells. And I really love peach rings, so every time I smell this, it like makes me want to eat one. But this is just like not a practical hand cream. It's more of like if you want to just treat yourself type of thing with your hands. And so yeah, those are my two favorite like peach scent products. Okay, the next thing is some music. This is an album that I've been really loving recently. It's from a band called Pinback, and this is their, I believe it's their debut album actually, because it's just self-titled. It's very much like an indie type of band. Like when I think of indie music, like I think of this type of music, and it's just very like intricate and very layered. Like I don't know, whenever I listen to it, I just feel so like off the bat like appreciative of people who like dedicate their lives to making music like this, because it's just so good. And whenever I play it in my room, it just makes me feel like so vibey, and I would definitely recommend this to people who enjoy like sort of like coffee shop music, but also music that's just very melancholic. And yeah, my favorite track from it is definitely Crutch, which is track number 7. I really, 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 really love that song. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like on my top listens on Spotify for the year. Like I would not be surprised if that happens. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this album. Very good. This whole band in general, like outside of this album, is really, really good. And speaking of music, something else that changed my life is these headphones. Before I bought these, I was a earbud listener, and it's just like frustrating being an earbud listener because the ones I bought were like $10 off Amazon, and they would always stop working after a certain amount of time, like 2 months. 2 months they would stop working. Either one wire would go out or the whole thing would just stop working, and it was always so frustrating. But I finally just like caved in, and I was like, all right, something needs to change. So I like researched which headphones were the best, and these are the Sony WH-XM4, and yeah, they changed my life. They changed how I listen to music, how I perceive music, the sounds that I hear whenever I was like listening to songs that I had always known and listened to with my earbuds, and then I re-listened to them with these, and like I was like, what? Like, and like there was just so much background sounds that I was hearing that I hadn't heard before, and so it was like just a new experience for me. I would say if you don't have a pair of headphones, definitely invest in a pair, or at least like consider it. Especially if you're a music lover, like what are you doing if you don't have a pair of these? What are you doing? It's definitely cheaper now. When I bought it, it was like $300, but I believe you can get a really cheap pair now, especially now that there's a newer model out. The next thing is a brand of stuffed animals that I've been really loving, which is Wormies. I feel like a lot of people know what Wormies are though. It's just basically a weighted stuffed animal. I don't have any pets that live with me right now, so I miss like having something to cuddle with, because I really love just like cuddling with cats and dogs. And so, yeah, it was really sad, like, missing out on that experience, but this makes up for it. This is literally, like, it feels like a living thing because of how weighted it is. And also, you can put it in the microwave. That's why it's called Wormy, is because you could put it in the microwave and warm it up, and it becomes, like, super nice and warm. And it comes in a lot of cute designs. I got the duck because I just thought it was really cute. And I think all their designs are super cute as well. They do have a lavender scent, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I've had mine for a while now, so the scent has kind of gone away. But when you first get them, like they really have a scent to them. But yeah, this guy is my best friend. He is literally the reason I exist. He is like, I feel like this is the first stuffed animal that I've, like, actually used. Because when you think about it, like, stuffed animals, you're supposed to, like, use them at night and you're supposed to cuddle with them. But most of the time, like, you don't cuddle with your stuffed animals. You just, like, leave them for decoration. But this guy, like, I actually, like, if he's not in my arms at night, I will wake up in the middle of the night just to look around and find him. I'll freak out if I don't have it. So, yeah, I've really built an emotional connection with my Warmie. But I do have a second favorite stuffed animal, and that is this guy right here, a honorable mention. These are called fugglers. I learned about these recently, and I thought they were so cool because they all have this really distinctive style that's sort of like creepy and sort of weird. They have these like fake teeth on them and these like scary eyes. Yeah, I saw this stuffed animal and I thought it was like a work of art, and I just wanted to have it I just wanted to have it. So yeah, this guy lives on my bed. He's a crucial part of my bed. He serves the purpose of decoration and the purpose of happiness. The next thing I've been loving, buldak carbonara noodles. These, so good. And I tried them like a long time ago and I didn't make them right. I think I forgot to drain the water, and I also put the whole spice packet in, which I'm a big baby when it comes to spice. So the first time I tried it, I was like, this is so bad. And I just thought it was so disgusting. And I never tried them again until recently when my friend was like, oh, what do you mean it's bad? Like, this is so good. And I was like, really? Like, you think it's good? So I retried it just to, like, make sure. And so when I redid it, I made sure to actually drain the water. And then I also only put half of the spice packet in, which definitely helped me not die whenever I ate it. Yeah, these have become a favorite of mine. They are so good. It is worth it. I don't care if I get a stomach ulcer. It is worth it if I'm eating these noodles. Plus the packaging is just so cute. It's pink. It looks like my hair. It's awesome. It's awesome. The next favorite thing is trinkets. And I understand that's a very generalized word, trinkets, but specifically just small objects that serve no purpose other than making you happy. That's my definition of what a trinket is. Recently, I was talking to my sister and she was sort of telling me like what she's been up to, and she's like, yeah, one of my favorite things to do is to go on eBay and look up porcelain trinkets. And I was like, oh, what are those? Like, what's a trinket? It's these. These are like just these weird like little gift boxes that open up, and it's literally like, what are they for? I don't know. Like, what could I put in here? Some Tic Tacs in here? I don't know. It's cute and I love them, and I could imagine myself collecting a bunch of them. I think that's what a lot of older people do, is like they have like cabinets full of just these like little weird boxes. This one's a cute little penguin, and yeah, it's just so cute and so useless. I love it so much. Some other trinkets that I love is my little Forky. Forky was my favorite character out of Toy Story, all of Toy Story. And I know he was only in the fourth one, but still, like, I also have a Minecraft axolotl. I have this little alien guy. And recently I made these sea slug snails out of clay. I think sea slugs are so awesome. Sea slugs need like their entire own category. They are so awesome, and I feel like it's just a part of nature that like is so fascinating and so like alien-like. Like, we don't talk about sea slugs enough. I think we need to talk about sea slugs some more because they're crazy and the way they move is so like otherworldly. I love sea slugs. They're my new like fascination. I have a lot of other trinkets, but just for the sake of not making this video longer than it needs to be, I won't show them. But a good way to find trinkets is to go to, of course, the thrift store. There's a whole trinket section, just a whole section of like weird, useless stuff. Also, I know a lot of people like to buy blind boxes. Those are really popular right now. Like, I forget what they're called, but there's those like babies, those babies that like have like different hats on. I don't know like what the origin of that is. I don't know how they became so popular. I'm not a fan of blind boxes. Like, I feel like I could never really get into them just because I can't justify like buying something like that. I feel like I can justify buying something from the thrift store because it's super unique and it's something that, like, I don't know, like I treasure more than something that just comes from a box, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's where you can get some trinkets at. Also, like I said, going on eBay to find trinkets, all the dead people, all the dead grandmas, they probably had a whole trinket collection that is going up for sale on eBay. So yeah, that's that's where you can get them. And then something that I've been loving a lot for my lips is the Issa Maya lip gloss. These are supposed to be a lip plumper. I just bought them because I really love the colors. And so if you're looking for a good lip plumper, I would not recommend this. This does not plump your lips at all. There's not even like a tingly feeling I get from it. But I just really, really love the colors this comes in. My favorite one, there's a silver one right here, and then there's this like black one. This one's my favorite. I use this one the most. Black lip glosses are just really cool, and I think you don't have to get this specific brand because this brand is really expensive. And I wish I knew that before I bought it. Otherwise, I just would have bought a black lip gloss from a different brand because there's a lot that I just didn't realize. I thought like she invented black lip gloss, but apparently like there's other brands that also do it. It just like is really easy to wear, especially like if you want to wear makeup without wearing too much makeup. Like, I'll just pop this gloss on and it sort of adds something to my lips without it being like a really bright color. Like, if I put it on now, like, it just makes my lips look a little darker and a little more sultry than usual. It's definitely my most used lip product that I have and my most unique one as well. Also, some jewelry that I've been really loving. This is the only jewelry item that I want to mention just because I think it's so cool. It's this glass ring, and I bought it from Etsy. I've been really trying to focus on buying from small businesses and things that are just handcrafted. I really value like handcrafted things, and it's so cool. It looks like ice, and it looks like water, and it has a opal in the middle of it, which just adds to like that dimension of it, and it's just such a cool ring. Definitely one of my favorite jewelry items that I own. That's pretty much it for today's videos. That was not all of my favorite things, but just some things that I could think of. Yeah, if you guys want to share with me maybe some things that you also like, I would definitely really want to know, because like I said, whenever people recommend me stuff, like I take it so serious. Like in my cool music video, like people were telling me their favorite music and I was listening to it, and it just like touches my heart whenever people recommend things, because it comes out of a place of like connection and wanting people to experience the joy you felt whenever you experienced whatever it was that made you experience it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope everyone is having a lovely spring. There's flowers in the air, there's wind in the air, and then there's spring showers. And yeah, I love spring. Spring is my favorite. I hope everyone's having a lovely spring, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Please subscribe.